So much to watch in the market right now. Let's bring in Michele Schneider, the chief strategist at MarketGauge.com. Hello to you, Mish. Earnings and economic news are leading the way right now. And then there seems to be this battle between the small caps versus the big caps.
Well, I wrote a little article over the weekend comparing the Russell 2000 to David and NASDAQ 100 to Goliath, right? So in the parable, we know that David eventually comes forth as a shepherd and slings a rock and hits Goliath and he dies. And so it's possible right now that as we're going into earnings season, and even though everybody expects companies like Tesla and Meta to report very well, that the small caps, which looked like they were dying last week, have new life. And if they continue to have new life, it is possible that we'll see a little bit too much saturation in the large caps and some of that money finally rotate in a real way over to value into the small caps. So that's kind of what we're watching for right now.
I thought of you right away on another critical topic, Russia playing games with the world's food in its war on Ukraine by stopping that flow of grains. How do you view this from a trading standpoint?
Well, first of all, Angie, I have to say you're one of the only people who actually wants to discuss it with me. And of course, as an old commodities trader, how could you not pay attention to things like what's going on with weather patterns, drought, floods, and the food prices? And then, of course, then the geopolitical news, you have to. But what's really interesting right now is that none of that seems to be able to sustain a rally in the face of all of that. So disinflation is what the big buzz was last week, right, with CPI, PPI. So I think that I wouldn't take my eyes off of that ball. And certainly if you look at DBA, which is the classic composite of all the different agricultures, cattle and soft commodities, it's holding really firm. So I think it's still relatively dormant. I think the money is going right now into the equities more so. And if this sustains, if Russia's deal continues to pinch along with what's happening with Mother Nature around the world, then I do believe that we could still be in for some trouble in terms of inflation numbers coming back, which of course will force the Fed's hand, which of course will put more pressure on equities. So we're prepared, but right now it doesn't seem to be a big issue in the market price.
We will count on you to keep us posted. What's your trade of the day?
Well, right now, actually, interestingly, biotech, which has been in a trading range for a long time while everything else is sort of breaking out, is peeking its head close to the 130 if you look at IBB, and XBI looks even better. So I'm looking at that biotech ETF right now as a potential. I would probably wait another day, let it digest, see what happens with earnings, but that might be the next move for the money.
Thank you, Michele, for your Trader Talk.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.